I think a lot of us have seen a lot of different meme coins pop up on DexScreener, like what was it, the DWB and the actually token. Both I think both of those came out recently here, and like sort of been popping off. Um, I think one of the things with meme coins, like I think what was happening was you had Solana pop off, and you had a ton of meme coins on Solana like go to billion-dollar valuations and get listed on exchanges within like weeks and stuff like this. And when you're over here on the Pulse chain, maybe we don't have as many exchange listings. Maybe we don't have as many meme coins with as much market cap. Like people feel like they're missing out on the gains. So I think that's why some of these meme coins got launched, and why you have some of the meme coin culture here on Pulse Chain as well. But I do think a lot of these meme coins are I think they're quite net positive for the chain overall. Like if you look at some of the most popular blockchains out there, like I just to name a few, like Solana and Ethereum, two like of probably the most popular L1s right now. They both have their thriving meme ecosystem, right? Like Ethereum had Shiba Inu last cycle, popped off, did a ton of gains. I think that brought a bunch of value to the network. Not that like Ethereum like it doesn't need meme coins to be successful or anything like this, but I think it definitely amplifies your success if you have like a insanely huge meme coin that pops off. And then recently, like you have like more memes like Pepe kind of pop off, and like Solana, you had like a bunch of memes over there. So I think Pulse Chain, how it's sort of playing out is I think we're getting our own little meme ecosystem. And I was telling people this, like, I wouldn't be surprised if some of these memes actually bring in some new onboards and stuff like this, because when you're looking at things like Hex, you have to be a somewhat advanced DeFi user to actually get the understanding and staking of Hex, and to actually sort of pick up on things like this. So, like to understand T-shares, you have to do homework, is what I'm trying to say. But to understand a meme coin, most of it is just like funny, like it's just supposed to be funny, and then the whole objective is number go up. So for a lot of people, that's easier to understand than Hex and T-shares. So I think that's another thing too about people, like when they get into something, they want to feel like they fully understand it, and most people can fully understand number go up and funny meme. So I think that'll bring a lot of adoption over here to the Pulse chain as well. And like even if people are just wanting to sort of throw darts and gamble on meme coins, imagine if you had like imagine you had people like normies, like how some of us, like we might go deposit some money onto a wallet, go over onto Solana, and play with some meme coins, for example. Imagine you had people doing this exact same sort of thing but with Pulse chain, right? So getting some Pulse chain, putting it in their wallet, and then playing around with meme coins on Pulse chain, right? And then doing their transactions over here, paying the validators, contributing to the volume and stuff like this. Um, so yeah, things like
Mm.
this I think are super interesting. But another thing too, with like the sentiment and the prices being down on the core coins, I think that is another reason why some of these meme coins are launching. Is you're just sort of, people get bored, right? And like they have the recency bias, and like they want to plant a tree and then instantly watch it grow. And with some of these meme coins, you can literally just look at the deck screener and watch the chart just like print candles, and people, like they'll get their dopamine hits from that sort of stuff. So I think that's another reason why some of the meme coins have popped off on Pulse Chain here right now, like as the prices are down. But I do think it is a cool little bit of culture. At first, I thought like all the meme coins were like 100% all distractions. Um, I think majority of them are like distractions in a sense to sort of like just like get you distracted in a sense, and like take some of your liquidity away from you.
Taking
But
mind share. Yeah, that's one way.
yeah, yeah. Um, but I do think like there'd be way less people interested in meme coins if Hex was in the process of doing another 10,000x. Like you'd probably have way less people like wanting to purchase this meme coin, because like why would I do that? Like it seems risky when this Hex token's just going up and to the right forever and stuff like this. So
Yeah.
um yeah, there's tons of different ways to sort of look at it. But I do think we're having a little meme cycle on PulseChain, and I think the reason why is like people are getting slightly bored with some of the recent like sentiment and some of the recent prices with PulseChain and PulseX, and like
I was
people
tired of
they want
waiting.
to, yeah, they want to see the quick price action, right? They want the volatility like up front, right there. So yeah, and I mean, there's a game for everyone, and I think just having those opportunities on Pulse Chain for people, like whether you want to do yield farming or you want to do degen hunting, or you want to do like PXDC, like lending and borrowing, right? Whatever you want to do, I think we should have like something for everyone on Pulse Chain. So at least there's that sort of narrative to sort of fit into as well.
Yeah, I mean, I try to be really fair for meme coins because again, I try to look at it from first principles, objective thinking. Even though I'm not interested, generally speaking, in meme coins or NFTs for that matter, I'm not meme coin max, I'm not NFT max. I really like things that have utility. I like our core coins. I like what they offer, whether I'm supporting them, whether the price is up or price is down. I think they're even more interesting in certain ways when price is down. Of course, locking up t-shirts, all that stuff. But yeah, I definitely think it's a lot of these came from a response to being like, look, I bought Hex. I'm down a lot. I'm tired of waiting. This guy is just twerking. I'm not, I don't want to be at the mercy of some other thing. There's these sub communities starting up. These people seem to care about me. These all these things happen, and you get new coins and you get new games to play, and some are better and some are worse. So even though I'm generally not interested, I can certainly make a case for the value. I can certainly, I mean, even Richard, I've never seen him do a thread on talking about the different stuff that's on PulseChain that apparently he thinks has some sort of value. He mentions meme coins, borrowing, margin trading, stuff like that. And he's given shout outs to the PH and also
Yeah.
liquid loans in the community projects before, other things I've never seen him do before. So I think he can see the value too. However, again, if I'm going to be fair, I think it is a response to being bored, and it's not. And part of it is, I mean, again, you could say that, okay, some people they just want to create their own tokens and play their own different games, and to each their own. But also think that real yield, the whole real yield narrative, where you're earning, you're not earning the same token, so it can't be dumped. Like that's what everybody thinks in the bear market. People are just earning more hex and just dumping it all the time because bear market, whether that's true or not is a different story. But the whole real yield, earning ETH or earning PLS or earning some other token, I think a lot of that spawned from people being tired of the yield being sold, or at least the narrative thereof. Just like the Bitcoin miners selling what they mine for electricity. You could make a lot of analogies for that too. So yeah, I'm not, yeah, like I don't think if people were up 50x, 100x or so on with Pulse or Hex or otherwise, I'm not sure the prospect of going hard into other meme coins would be so interesting. But I think there's a critical piece here that I think is worth being aware of when this stuff happens. And so whatever coins and narratives that you buy, just be aware of what led you there and what you're looking for. So the values and the healthy games and the non-zero sum attitude is why I like Hex. I haven't seen another product like it. And I'm not worried about taking profits in the future. I'm not worried about it going to zero. I'm not worried about getting rugged. None of that stuff. It's always going to pay on time. It's always going to keep things straight with the Truth Engine. All the products built upon it, all the leverage plays with Maximus Hedron, all that stuff too. Those are healthy, optimized towards at least like aspirational, non-zero sum games that I like to play. So I don't see anything wrong with buying meme coins per se. I like the, Somi's been popularizing 90% core, 10% lottery type thing. But I'm into Hex and its mission and those values. And that's what I want to promote. It and a few other, projects I think are healthy, positive feedback loops or provide utility for the ecosystem. And again, whether the price is mooning or whether it's not so popular and people find a reason to be frustrated or otherwise. So like being a distraction is one thing, but I think consistency pays off. And again, I'm going to spend most of my time and energy on the core stuff. And I wouldn't support stuff that tries to like push fun and friendly. Again, I love memes. Like you look at my channel or look at my Twitter. I like putting up memes. I like, I got a lot of RH memes and hex stuff and otherwise. Like I think to be careful it doesn't turn into this mind virus type of thing, like, or this addiction like gambling, where you're
Yeah.
like, I can't win any other way. I am desperate. I need to put it all in on this. I need to go,
Into
roulette type of
XYZ
stuff.
coin.
Exactly. Because again, that's not, there's plenty of other products that have millions of dollars of TVL locked up. It's the stuff we talked about earlier today, all the different protocols and, platforms and things that have tokens otherwise. Like when you start going from like selling all of your stuff just to promote meme coins and stuff, that's what I hope this ecosystem doesn't go. It doesn't go full into, I'm giving up on core and I'm just going to go play the quickest game I can to get rich. That's what I don't want to see it go into that direction. I'm not saying it is, but also you can see signs of like, okay, people are tired of waiting. They're going to start buying other products. They're going to start promoting other things. And I just hope that, I hope they don't get, wrecked in the meantime. I wish them well, whatever coin they buy. They don't have to be in PulseChain, whatever coin they buy. I wish them the best. I hope they get mad gains, whatever coin. If you buy XRP or Solana or whatever, like, wish you the maddest gains. Like, I want you to go live your dreams, do whatever you want to do. I just don't want this. I don't want to promote this culture of like going all in because, hey, this is the quickest way to get rich type of thing. That's not what the core values are of this ecosystem. And I try to remember that and promote it and stuff. And again, if anyone doesn't like your coin or doesn't promote it, like, it's like, I don't take that as an assault on my identity that people don't like that I only talk about certain coins or only promote certain ideals or whatever. Like, if people don't like it, I don't take that as an assault on like me or my identity. So hopefully, it's like other people don't do that either, where it's not gatekeeping. It's like a prerogative. We live in a free world, right? Like, everyone can talk about whatever they want. They don't have to, to whatever degree they see fit. So anyways, best ideals win. And one other thing I'll say on this too, the rule of 5 comes to mind when I think about decisions and stuff. So whether you like meme coins or not, whether you have your brand identity around them, or whether you have your brand identity or whatever you could say around the core coins, the rule of 5, how are you going to feel about this decision? Whatever decision you make, whether participate or not, go all in or not, 90-10 or not, 30-70 or not, in that way, how are you going to feel about the decision in 5 days, 5 weeks, 5 months, your future self? Like, are you be thanking you? Because I want to thank my future self. Like, I want my future self to thank me, and the best way I could do that is like keeping to all these core principles that I think are the most healthy ones. And again, I want everyone to win. I know everyone's not going to win. I want them to win. And I hope we have a lot of happy people at the end of the cycle for sure.
I think I was watching some of Sami's videos, and I remember him saying the 90% core, 10% lottery. And I just want to say, like, be careful, like, especially with everything you were saying, guys. Like, if you are participating in meme coins and that is something like that interests you, the viewer watching the stream, just be very careful. Like, I think even 10% lottery is a lot. That's a lot to allocate into lottery tickets. Like, imagine you took 10% of your salary at work and you put it straight into the lottery. Like, it's kind of a lot of money just to dump straight into the lottery or whatever. So I don't necessarily think that, like, be very careful. Like, don't put like I'm gonna sell all my pulse, put it into this random token, and hopefully I can make it 2x. Like, things like this will seriously get you wrecked, and you'll get chopped up in these markets. Like, you'll lose 70% of your pulse, 60% of your pulse, maybe it's 20% of your pulse if you're maybe lucky and you cut your losses maybe early, sort of thing. But definitely be very careful when it comes to the lottery tickets and stuff like this. I remember I was looking at Sami's video, and in the comments I was reading some of the people saying it's hard to keep these lottery tickets to 10% of my portfolio, to only 10% of my portfolio. So yeah, people, like, it's easy to like buy the new shiny object, right? Like, oh, look at this new shiny object, and then look at this new shiny object, and like they just keep on coming off the press, like, new shiny objects. But definitely focus your attention on the core tokens, because that's where all this value is coming from. Like, the meme, like, you're not gonna have a meme token like, unless PulseChain, like, does relatively okay. Because I think even if, like, at the very bottoms of PulseChain, like you probably saw a lot of these meme coins struggle. Maybe not all of them. Like you probably find me a chart and be like, "Hey, look at this coin that did very well while PulseChain was down." Like that probably exists somewhere. But definitely just focusing on the core tokens is probably the most important thing you guys should do. Like I don't think there's anything wrong with like Sami's saying like throw in a couple lottery tickets. Like it's okay to like get a couple lottery tickets here and there, but I do think like 10% is like I'm just more conservative in that sense where I think like 10% is kind of a lot to throw into lottery tickets. But
Yeah,
yeah,
you could
it's
say
just like
90 to 95%. I kind of, that's kind of my mental model. It's like 90, 95% core.
yeah, and I think that that's a good way of that's a good way of looking at it, and like just and keeping your conviction on the core coins like fully maximalized. Like you should have max conviction on those core 95% ecosystem tokens, and those 5%, like if they go to zero, like it shouldn't affect you. Like it literally shouldn't affect you because it was such a tiny portion of your portfolio where like even if it does like get completely rugged, like yeah, you know, like oh I lost like 5%, 10% of my stack, or maybe it was only 2% of that 10% or whatever it was, right? But either way, just be very careful. Like you don't want to get chopped up, especially in Pulse Chain. Like getting chopped up in dollars is one thing, but getting chopped up in your Pulse bag is a whole other concept because we're no longer at 4 zeros and a three. So if you want to accumulate, like you're gonna have to pay the hundreds of dollars per million of Pulse Chain. So it looks like we're on that trajectory. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
don't get
And Philly
chopped
makes,
up.
don't get chopped up. Yeah. I think that, and again, that's how I avoid such a thing. Like I literally, again, I don't tell people which coins to buy. I just present the case as objective as possible. And I mean, how many coins could survive? One sec.
You're all good.
How many coins could survive this? Like going down 99%, 98%, whatever it was. What kind of ecosystem could survive that? Like most, if not all, like not all, but I'd say most could disappear in a week, in a day, if a bad events occurred or things happen like that over time, like it'll just disappear. So Hex has like 20, 30, 40 community websites made for it. Not even counting PulseChain and PulseX Inc. If it went down 99% further tomorrow, I mean that's imaginary horrible, but if it did, you couldn't unwind all the community sites, all the products built up on it, all the sub communities building, supporting it. It'd take months or years to become irrelevant, like fully
And you would
just
still
disappear.
have people screaming it from their rooftops.
Yeah, and you would still have people. Nope, I'm still staked. I'm still staked for 5, 10, 15 years and stuff. So don't forget about the billionaires back in again. Shout out to the billionaires, the mega wells, the buy and bridge and stake for 15 years, God wells as well. And it's different and worth consistently supporting to me and thinking twice about with new coins versus new t-shirts. Like I think I like I love new t-shirts last year. I said before I made more stakes last year than I think I've ever made because I love those t-shirts and I love locking it up and I don't mind to wait. But yeah, ultimately the choice is yours. I just don't want to. I don't want things to weaken the core. If they have positive feedback loops, if they promote healthy behavior, if they bring TVL in and onboard in a fun and interesting and a healthy way, I wish them the best. I want them to flourish. I want to make sure things don't weaken these guys, and we have enough splitting and buying pressure naturally from all this stuff to you can make a case for weakening that way. But I just want everything good and healthy. I want it to grow, and everything else again. Hopefully, the best ideas win.
And I think sort of maybe the last thing I'll sort of end off with here is we were talking about how Richard wasn't streaming or isn't streaming anymore, but I think he's still communicating with us, and he's still telling us his he's showing us his cards, his deck of cards. Like he knows what he's doing with the SAC addresses, whoever the duck or whoever it is, whoever owns those particular addresses.
Shout out to
But
Greg.
I, yeah, Greg the Duck. But I do think he's broadcasting it to the world, saying like, "Hey, look, hey, look, hey, look, like, look at this money being bridged in. Look at this, look at that." When he was buying ETH, like, he's broadcasting these things to the entire community, and he wants people to know. So he's not going on stream and he's not yelling it from the rooftops. But now he's just going on chain, and it seems like he's just broadcasting it on the blockchain instead of on YouTube. So I think he's still communicating with us, but it's just in a different manner, like on the blockchain now instead of on YouTube.